Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to be reacting to one of Tectone's videos on his thoughts on Zenless Zone Zero. Now, I saw on Twitter that he mentioned that he wants content creators to actually react to this and even tag him in the reactions just to get everybody's thoughts on this thing. Now, I'm not part of the beta test or whatever test you want to call it for Zenless Zone Zero, but I haven't wanted to play this game for a long time. I did several videos already checking out the trailers and the character teasers. And, I haven't been doing any hardcore research on the website, just on whatever they've been posting on YouTube. Now, Tectone, I remember I first started watching him when he was doing Honkai Star Rail streams. That's how I found him. Uh, I think it's a pretty positive force as far as the Honkai Star Rail community goes. I know there's some drama of Genshin. I really don't care. Not going to look too deep into that. And he's been doing a lot of good so far in Honkai Star Rail. I don't know what he plans on doing in Xenozone Zero. It looks like he's going to be giving his brutally honest thoughts on this one. And I just wanted to chime in with any thoughts I might have on what I've at least seen. I can't comment too much on the gameplay, but yeah, that's enough of me stalling, so let's just go check it out. I'm probably going to play this on 1.5 speed, just to speed this thing up. Let's see. There we go. Yep, wait. There.
Yo, what up, boys? If you're here, I want to really encourage you guys to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe. This is going to be about something that I really enjoy talking about.
That is something that I always forget to say. Like, comment, and subscribe. Link's right down below. Oh, and the link to this video is going to be right in the description, by the way. And I stream on this channel. Just saying.
Just pros and cons of closed beta number 2 for Zenless Zone Zero. I'm not here to hurt people's feelings. I'm not here to present my opinion as objective. I can only give you some thoughts that I've been mulling over for the past little bit, and I'm looking for feedback from you guys.
That does remind me of something. He just said like his opinions are not objective. I used to be known as Cocolito the Choppy Reviewer. Actually, it's still my name, Choppy Reviewer. And one of the main things about me being the Choppy Reviewer when I used to review Warhammer 40k books is that no opinion, no critique, no review is ever objective. There is no such thing as an objective review. It is all subjective based on what we believe is what's good and what's bad. It's just some people try to paint what their ideas of good and bad as objective when it is really just a subjective, no matter how many other people agree with what your opinion is. Anyway.
We'll most likely make a follow-up video on this based on what people like or don't like. If you like something that I don't like, that's fine. Say that. If you don't like something that I do like, please say that. That's fine. This is for all of the means to better the game and get it to where the majority of players want it to be rather than the minority. And the reason why that's important is because you need to cater to the majority because that's how a game becomes a global hit. And I do want Hoyoverse to be successful because I do like their games quite a bit. In particular, Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact. Genshin Impact's pretty okay. Other people enjoy it though.
I do want to point out that, saying your opinion, your critiques, that's not slamming the game. That's not hating on the game. There is something called, what was it called? That's right. Toxic positivity. When people actively ignore negative things about a game or anything or whatever media they're enjoying and only talk about the good things. So people only hear good things about it while ignoring all the bad stuff. And the bad stuff is still there. And the developers or any creators, whatever media it is, just continues building up on the bad stuff because nobody's telling them we don't like this bad stuff. We just want this good stuff. Because whenever we talk about bad stuff, the toxic positivity consumers just try to like bury that down, try to say, oh, you're just hating. They say whatever they can just to ignore all that negative stuff you're saying, even though it's in the game. Talking about critiques, talking about things that are not great in any kind of product, I'm sorry about the dogs outside, is a good thing. There's this difference between hating and critiquing. And a lot of people just need to understand that. Just because somebody's critiquing something that you like doesn't mean they're saying anything bad about you. They just want a better product. Okay.
And that's great. And I don't want to take that away from them. As long as they're not weird people with like Eula with a McDonald's hat talking about how much they want to eat John Lee's cum sock on their Twitter. So I'm going to go through the pros and cons of Zenless.
All right, that sounds like he's actually experienced something like that.
People's thoughts as well, because I feel like that's very important to talk about. So first off, the animations for this game look absolutely incredible. The way that the world looks, the way that the cutscenes look are very good. It has a mixture of comic style and actually movie style, animations. And I think that that's very nice. I think they did a great job at the expressions as well. It actually feels like the characters have expressions besides this guy right here, who I honestly think is the worst character in the game, and unfortunately he's the main character. I feel like he looks stupid. I feel like he is stupid. I feel like his emotions are non-existent. I feel like he's...
Okay, as far as the main characters go, I think it's kind of harsh to say he's stupid, or is this the worst? Maybe he is the worst character, but I don't think I think he's just kind of meh. But the problem is with just having a meh character is you could have a great character instead. Why settle for meh when you get great? He kind of reminds me of the Honkai Star Rail main character, mainly the hair. Um, Although his outfit does kind of make him look more like an NPC. The girl, yeah, I mean, she's not as meh as this guy, probably because she has blue hair, he has gray hair, and they're just having like the muted colors like this in a very colorful game. It's kind of really stands out in a negative way, and I think having like more orange and the blue hair has her pop out a little bit more. I don't think her character's that great either. Just not as poor as this guy, but I think it's already kind of too late, right? Unless you have different costumes you could equip on these characters. Uh, Although I don't know what, like, is he voiced? Or any of these characters voiced? Are they going to get a lot? What's their personality? Maybe their personality could overcome the visual design. I don't know.
He's boring as shit, but the female counterpart is incredible, quirky, lighthearted, funny, and get this, actually looks good. I feel like the male MC looks like a worse version or a prototype version of the Honkai Star Rail MC.
All right,
and the
well,
reason
he
why that
said
really
it.
bothers me is because we're going to have to be interacting with him a lot. I think a lot of the issues with the MC is that I feel like his eyes are too far apart, his face is too long, his nose looks really weird from a front angle, displaying the double nostril, and his mouth just looks stupid. I also think his outfit is boring as shit. I just feel like he does not look like a good character.
Okay, as far as the facial features go, like, I think, well, he's saying it's critique. I think this is nitpicking for the sake of being nitpicking. The outfit, definitely, is kind of boring. The girl, I don't, he says she's outstanding. I don't know. I just think she's kind of like above meh. Now, he did say like she's quirky and funny. So I'm guessing that you get to interact with her a lot in the game world where she's like talking and interacting in cutscenes. And maybe I haven't seen that. So maybe this guy just haven't had his scenes yet that it kind of proves, like, or shows his personality, and maybe he is an interesting character and we just haven't seen it yet.
If this guy were to be in the main, if he was going to be in the main overworld where it's like a random NPC looking at the albums, I feel like nobody, and I mean nobody, could tell the difference. I genuinely feel that. If you disagree, that's fine. Please tell me why. But I assure you, more people dislike this guy's appearance than people who are crazy about them. And it can't just be fine anymore. A character cannot just be fine. It needs to be good. Saying it's passable is not good enough in 2023 or 2024 when this game releases.
Yeah.
It needs
Why
to
settle
be
for
phenomenal.
fine
And I do think
when you get great? Just do great.
I think male MC's design is terrible. I feel like the world is quite good. I would love to show you it, but I'm locked inside of this, little shitty hole. Maybe my editor will put some of the B-roll footage from my Twitch VOD as a display that you can look at the overworld when I walk around. And maybe
Okay, so you can't really roam?
The arcade is really fun. I do like the arcade quite a bit. There's a fun way to have PvP in a very fun, lighthearted, hopefully not too anxiety-inducing way where you can compete in.
Oh, you can play Snake.
PvP. I feel like it'll be fun to dick around every now and then. I do feel like it's a pretty cute way to have players be able to interact and be able to do shit with their friends. And I do think it'll get a lot of people to download the game just to play the arcade. I genuinely feel that, and maybe they'll stick around for the combat after that. The combat feels very good when we're allowed to do it. Where have we heard that before?
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Genshin Impact. Unfortunately, Zenless Zone Zero currently feels more like a TV simulator than a combat-oriented game, which is incredibly frustrating.
This is what I'll say about the combat, at least from what I've seen. Like, the combat does look kind of fun. Now, when you're Hoyoverse is making like games that play differently from themselves for the most part. Like, you got Genshin, which seems more focused on Breath of the Wild style exploration. I'm not a big fan of what the combat in Genshin has evolved into. I played it at 1.0, took a break for a while, came back. Didn't like what it evolved into with everything kind of revolving around the elemental reactions. I talked about that already in the past. I'm not going to go over it again. And I don't like the fact that they cater to the very high-end players, high-end meta players, and try to build on their difficulty, which is just giving everything like a gajillion hit points, making fights last for freaking ever. And I hate that. But it has great exploration. Honkai Star Rail, they do turn-based combat, and it is hard to do good turn-based combat. A lot of turn-based combat games I've played are just kind of boring. It's very samey with their turn-based combat. Star Rail is fun, is quick, and even they keep changing it up with, Simulator Universe. I love Simulator Universe. I think that's the true end game. Forget MOC. I'm not a big fan of MOC. That seems more like a chore just so I can just get some quick jades. And I really hope they don't start scaling characters based off the meta people are coming up with MOC. I think that'll just kind of ruin everything for the rest of the game. Kind of like what happened with Genshin Impact. Okay, I got lost track. Okay, so, and then even with the latest event, the Haunted event, they added even more features to the turn-based combat with those flames, and you gotta like start timing when you're gonna use your ultimates, when you're gonna use your special abilities to try to affect the flame that keeps going up on the turn order. So you just can't auto anymore, and I really love that. Going with an unoptimized team, trying to the work with that flame thing was really, really fun. And I could see just they could do a lot more of that, and I think they're doing great with Genshin Impact. I mean, Honkai Star Rail. This one, it seems to play a lot like Honkai Impact the Third. I played a little bit of that. I was kind of hoping it'll be more like a Devil May Cry kind of game, or even like Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus has excellent combat, but I was hoping more like for just high combat volume. Because if you ever play Devil May Cry, oh my god, any of the Devil May Cry games, they're just incredible as far as combat goes. But of course, you got to switch in characters, and it's going to be played on mobile, so I get that's why they can't go too far in depth into it. But I think they could figure it out, just so they can have something that plays differently from their other games. Right now, the combat at least looks like it's going to be very similar to Honkai Impact the Third. It's definitely too late for them to drastically change it now, but hopefully in the future they'll ramp it up to play more like a Scarlet Nexus, or if you haven't played Scarlet Nexus, give it a shot. Just for the combat, it is so good. Or even Devil May Cry. Right.
Rating, where we're just waffling about in TV land for half an hour before we get to kill something in 30 seconds. They did this weird thing where they changed it from CBT1 to CBT2, where it feels less like a roguelike and more like a 2D puzzle solver. Yay, where have we heard that before? Genshin Impact. Because before, we would like go into the TV world as we
I have no idea what he's doing here.
Debuff, maybe enemies do this, maybe enemies do that. And now it's like, there's a Twain. You got to stop the Twain by putting the blocks in the block hole. And if you don't put the blocks in the block hole, you're going to have to walk around with the dwell. And maybe the dwell make you go up, maybe the dwell make you go down, who knows. But you got to solve the puzzle very quickly, otherwise the Twain is going to go off the tracks. And yeah, I thought this game was supposed to be a roguelike, and now it kind of just feels like, hey, do this shitty puzzle that you're not going to like. Combat! It's over. Which is really depressing. I mean, it is. It is really depressing. I mean, this game had a very cool opportunity to do something unique and challenging and fun and fresh. And instead it said, do you like planes? And me personally, no, I really don't like trains that much. I really don't like old retro TVs that much. That being said, I do have one of my son Steak and Eggs with Asmongold Emperor, but that's neither here nor there. Moving forward, I feel like the music is absolutely fantastic. I enjoy it quite a bit. I feel like the music is very, very, very good. And I do feel like the gotcha roll animations.
Yeah, the little bit I heard from the music, at least mainly the character teasers, the trailers, and some of the streams I've been watching, the music is fantastic. I think it fits perfectly in this world. And I said it before, and I'll say it again and again, it reminds me a lot of Jet Set Radio. No, I'm sorry, Jet Grind Radio. That's what I got on Dreamcast. At least the style of the music, and I really hope they just keep going in that direction. Oh, here we go.
Are great. It looks really good. It looks really fun. When you pull an S to your character, it's very long. It's very epic. The rates are still shit. It is a Hoyoverse game. Let's go over cons. The CN censorship is unbelievable. I mean, it is. It is. I'm not going to sit here and say, Nicole's boobs. But one more time, holy they ruined Nicole's boobs. Oh, they're still good. They were so hot. Oh, God, whatever. The R34 artists will still animate them getting anyway, so I don't care. That is like censorship. It's clearly they wanted to make the model look like that. And then they were like, oh, dude, change them quick. They're too unrealistic. Whoa.
Okay, now here's that's great great spot to pause it. Now what I got to say about, Nicole's boobs. Yeah, they nerfed the boobs. They censored it. Now, I don't live in China. I don't live in the East. I never did. I never visited. So I don't know how their culture is. I don't know how things work over there. At least here in the West, the word censorship is a lot of people here are sensitive about that. Nobody here wants their media, wants what they're consuming to be censored in any way. The only people here in the West that want censorship are not the customers. They are not the ones who are spending money on the products. They're the ones who do not like the products. They're the ones who kind of want to punish the people who like the products. The people who don't want the censorship are the customers. And this isn't just about, this game, Xenoblade Zero, or any anime game. It's movies, books, television shows. The people who are consuming the media never like it when their stuff is censored. The same thing happened with, I think it was Diablo 3, where a lot of Diablo fans were worried about the censorship that was going on in the game, because in China, they were censoring the game a lot over there because of their values over there. I don't know. I'm not judging them on their values. You do you. But here, it's like we didn't want that. Like, if you're going to censor it there, do it for them, but don't bring that over here. We don't want that. We don't want anything to be censored. We want everything shown like the way the developers wanted to show it to begin with. Like the way their artists, the way the creators wanted it. Just give it to us in all its full-blown glory. Now, it doesn't matter if it was Nicole's boobs that got censored, if it was like somebody's face, somebody's eyes, somebody's clothing. Doesn't matter what is censored. The moment the player base hears that something is censored, we are going to be upset. And I saw the different models between the original Nicole and the current one. It's It's like the current one. If you started with that one, nobody would be complaining. But the fact that we know it got changed, people are going to start throwing around the word censorship, and that's going to get a lot of people upset. Even if it wasn't for censorship reasons, and that's going to be hard to argue against, everybody's already calling it that. And here in the West, that is a very bad thing to have going around in any kind of media you have going on. And again, the only people championing it are the ones who are not giving you the money.
Unrealistic expectations in a video game? What are you going to tell me next? The characters have superpowers? If you tell me unrealistic equals needs to be censored, you are actually a idiot. What do you want them to do? Censor Naruto whenever he does the Rasengan? It's a video game.
By the way, it is, and I've seen it in real life. It is a fact that some women do, in fact, have very large breasts. I mean, it happens.
Things are unrealistic for a reason. It's because the real world is depressing 9 times out of 10. Who cares? Make the characters look unrealistic. I don't need, oh, dude, where the is the bald, angry, loud, fat guy? Like, am I screaming for that representation? No. I don't care. I like when characters look absurd. Oh, God, what are you going to tell me? Next they have a cat girl? A fish girl? Oh, but a boobie's a little bit too big. That's where we draw the line. Just change it back. Let a video game be unrealistic like video games should. Let's go more forward. The combat is completely unbalanced. There's certain characters, even 4 stars, where you can trivialize the entire game very easily. Minimal gear, minimal levels. You can just literally just left click spam, spacebar spam, and you can beat everything in the whole game. Without even
That's something I
just
noticed,
me.
like in a lot of the streams I'm watching.
hoping it's not a,
Is this
oh, God.
spam the
I
attack
really don't
button and
think
you
it's
win.
because I'll just say it. I really don't think it's just a me being really good at video games thing. I do genuinely just think that the game is really easy, like beyond easy. I mean this genuinely. I don't think I've had a single thought of what to do or not to do in the combat in its entirety. It's just I hear the shing, I press spacebar, and then everything dies. Let's keep going. Yeah, the TV roguelike aspect has borderline gone away. Now it's just little puzzles. The puzzles are boring. The energy system sucks. 20 energy per side.
Okay, now I have seen the energy system, and they're going to only have like what was it, 120 energy for a day. Now I remember in Honkai Star Rail before we had 240 energy, like it was kind of miserable because you felt pressure to log in twice a day just to burn up all that energy. It was incredible when I saw that update that they were going to up the energy to 240, not only up to 240, but they were going to, like, I think it was an update after that, recycle overcapped energy. That was fantastic. I don't know why they're not already doing this for this game. Why not this game? Why not Genshin for that matter? Genshin is already trying to copy Honkai Star Rail or something to their with those daily missions that they were doing. Just take the energy system. That's one of the greatest things they did so far.
Quest 30 energy for main quest just needs a lot of work. I don't know why we're expecting.
Wait a minute, you got to spend energy on the main quest? Why? Why the main quest? Isn't that energy you're just supposed to use for like grinding materials, getting XP stuff, getting relics, artifacts, whatever it is going to be in this game? Why for quest?
Spending energy on main quest and side quest, I think it should be free. Just my opinion. Have the energy resources. Have like the energy used for what you need to upgrade your characters. Like I don't know, every other game.
There we go. So like you said, exactly what I said.
There's not really an overarching story that I've picked up on yet. I don't really want to weigh on the story too much because I mean absolutely nothing has gotten my attention at all besides how hot Nicole is. So I've kind of just been mulling through it, skipping through shit. Nothing has grabbed my attention at all. It feels more like a slice of life than an overarching story. I think it can work. I'm not really a slice of life guy, but like. You're kind of like a hacker and you do like odd jobs and you help random people. And that's like.
Okay, I'm going to pause it in. So like personally, I do kind of like slice of life stuff. And as far as overarching stories go, I guess it kind of depends. I can't say like I want an overarching story because if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Honkai Star Rail. I'm going to go back to Honkai Star Rail. I liked the idea that it didn't really have a big main overarching storyline when we were doing the Belobog story. Like it seemed like it was just going to be a space western where every planet is just going to be kind of like its own thing and we didn't need an overarching story. Just like a space western, we just go out, have our adventures, come back. And Belobog, I still think it's peak Honkai Star Rail. When we got to the Zhangshao, I think it started just nose diving because everything in Zhangshao was just prep for something else, It's setting something else up, and it's dragging. And then that's where they're building the big main overarching storyline. And I really didn't like the direction they were going with. And you have like the Harbingers, which kind of remind me of what the Fatui have with whatever Child and Sonora was. Or were they Harbingers? And I'm getting the names mixed up, but Star Rail is borrowing a little bit too much from Genshin in that story aspect. where you have like the Celestia of Honkai or Honkai Star Rail, which is Nanook, and he has his own minions going out doing stuff, just like how the Fatui are sending out their minions to steal the Gnosis. There's too many similarities. I don't like the overarching story. I liked it better when it was just a space western, but now they're just kind of trying to do this big, epic, glorious space war kind of thing, and I'm not a fan of that. With this game, you tell me it's just going to be a slice of life with no big overarching story. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with like this, everything being kind of episodic, being its own thing. Maybe like a small overarching story, but nothing that's like you got to save the galaxy from one person, one big baddie, and they're sending out their minions, and they're each going to represent like a different element. Again, we don't need that.
Fine. Genshin Impact's biggest issue is they have an overarching story, but it just never progresses ever. It does not progress. It literally does not progress ever. We've needed to find our sister or brother for the past like 4 years. Sure, it has an overarching story. But
Okay, I know I paused again. I'm sorry, but about Genshin, about sister and brother, we found the sister and brother in the caves, in the chasm. We found our sibling, and they were like, we found them. It's like, hey, I found you, and they were like, piss off. You still need to go to like the water nation and the desert nation and the tree nation and the fire nation and do that stuff and then come find me. So we're not really looking for our sibling anymore. Even though even in the story, our character, at least in the English version, is still saying, I'm searching for my sibling. No, we're not. We found them. They didn't want to have anything to do with us. They left us. So we're not searching for them. We're just going to the other nations because they told us to. And I think that's kind of lame.
we're not doing anything to accomplish it. So maybe Holy Versus doesn't get how to do that. So maybe we're just giving up and just saying, okay, well now our entire story is just gonna be helping random people, and that way nobody can complain. And maybe it'll work. When I say it out loud, I think it actually could work. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. So we'll see. But so far, nothing has really grabbed my attention at all. No story has grabbed my attention. Besides when Billy's on the screen. I really like Billy. I really like Billy.
Oh yeah, he's a Deadpool robot, right?
I even like Corin. I like Corin too. I think they're very cute. I find the cat girl cringe as shit. I mean, good God. Holy shit. Let's keep going. Yeah, once again, the male MC looks.
So we're gonna have time for everybody,
stupid.
every player out there,
Too much
right?
time in the TV, very little time doing the combat. The UI looks good, but lacks clarity. So what I mean by that is that I can open up like a menu in this game, and it'll like look really good, like it'll look very pretty, but I don't really know what I'm doing there. There's a really good DVD screen that I think I can pull up. Bang Boom won't allow me some story like how fun. Though I have a wonderful article that also talks about their issues as well. But yeah,
I don't know. So
UI
far, at
looks
least
very
what he's
good,
shown didn't
but I
really
don't
seem too
understand it
complicated.
without reading things, and that might sound like, well, then just read it. But like, you got to understand, we're in 2024, 2023. I should be able to understand what something is based on the icon alone. Otherwise, what is the point of that icon? There's nothing. There's no point. I should be able to look at it and instantly know what it is that I'm doing. Okay. Also, side note, ZZZ has a story skip button, but I feel like that's maybe because this is the only Hoyoverse game of the story is just dead ass, just not important. So maybe it is skip because nobody gives a. Yeah, the UI's a mess. Just way too much going on at all times.
Maybe it's for those players that are like
weird, like film.
Maybe the skip button is mainly for those players that like make multiple accounts, so they don't really need to see the story over and over again.
Over everything in the game that I know they did for like a stylistic choice, but I wish there was a way to remove it because it hurts my head. It feels very foggy. Like it just feels like there's grain over the screen, but that's just me. Some people.
Okay, about grain. Personally, I love film grain. In a lot of the games that I play that have film grain. Now, an example. The first game that I played that had film grain that I thought was perfect, Silent Hill. In Silent Hill 2, I got the Silent Hill Xbox port, Silent Hill 2 Xbox port. They had an option to remove the film grain. And at first, I was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this, make this look as best as I can. And I turned it right back on after playing it for a few minutes because it looks better with the grain. Stylized, it looks better. For a horror game, I think it fit the style of the game way better. It was way more atmospheric. And I played other games that had film grain that worked really, really well. I know on a technical issue, is so you could get away with having like lower res stuff in the game, and the grain just kind of like muddies it up a bit so you don't notice it too much. I don't know how that's going to work in this game. If they could get it to work like for whatever style they're doing with the grain, like I kind of see it. I don't think it's an issue, but then again, I like foam grain. If you could turn it off for players who wanted to have it off, I think that'd be great. I don't know if they're going to have that option. Having more options isn't too bad, but I don't think having film grain is a bad thing. If depending on how you use it, if it fits the style of the game, I think it could work out even, in a great way.
People see it, some don't. Chat, type 1 if you see it, type 2 if you don't. There's like this weird like film grain, and it makes everything a lot less vibrant than I feel like it should. Also, side note, the Bang Boos are probably the best part of this game. I love these
what they're called?
guys so much. They're so cute. They're so adorable. They're incredible. I love them a lot.
I do
My
want to
last
plushie
big
of this
issue
thing.
is that the alt. Oh, yo, what the hell?
Hi.
Oh, yo, thanks, man.
Hey, Laro.
Appreciate that. Yeah. The other problem that I really have with this game is that the alts and the skills feel very similar. Like, especially Nicole. For Nicole's E, she sends out a gravity suck. For Nicole's alt, she sends out a gravity suck. So it pretty much just feels like they're the same thing.
So it's kind of like Topaz's
really
numbing ability.
The alts and skills,
Her
they
skill
don't
and the follow-up
feel
is the exact same.
special. They just feel the same, and I don't like that. My skill should feel kind of good, and then my ultimate should feel incredible. And that's why it's called a ultimate. It's not called a reskill. It's called a ultimate, and that's what I feel it should be like. Now, I'm going to go a little bit further into another great article I saw but haven't read yet, heard good things, and we're going to talk about it. I do want to encourage, if you are another content creator who maybe agrees or disagrees, that's fine. I would like to welcome as many content creators to react to my video and give me their
Okay, so he
opinion
says
on
it in the video too. Like, I saw this on Twitter.
because I feel like now is the most important part to give feedback for the game before the real release comes out. I really don't care about your opinion of me whatsoever. I just want the best for Zenless Zone Zero, because before the beta test, I was very excited for this, and now I'm so-so. That's very disheartening to me. And I feel like this game needs a lot of work, and I don't feel like I'm alone here. So I really encourage a lot of people to either make their own video or re-react to my video of this and just weigh in. I would and feel free to send me the link. I would love to watch your reaction to my reaction.
Yeah, if I was in the beta, I'll be making my own
Here's
videos,
a
but
great article I found
I missed
earlier.
out.
Haven't read it yet. We're gonna look at this. So ZZZ CB2 concerns with pictures. Very good. UI's messy. It really is, okay? All of this shit, I have no idea what the f going on here. Messy UI negatively impacts everything else, including the TVs, combat, everything. I thought navigating screens tedious. Most of the game felt cluttered, and many things felt counterintuitive. Absolutely.
I can't comment on this thing.
It feels like a absolute mess. Stamina, too little to get stuff done, 1,000,000%. I don't understand why stamina is being used for main story and side story. And I've also been told that when you level up, it doesn't replenish your stamina. So really weird. Battle mechanics, mashing is all it takes. Absolutely. You slam your head against the keyboard, everything will die. 1,000,000%. Hollows. Yep. So in case anybody
so
doesn't
what
know,
is the
these
hollow?
hollows, these TVs, they're used to be as a supplement or a substitute for the overworld. This game will not have an overworld. Everything we do will exist in the main hub. We will go inside a TV and we will explore. That is how the whole story will go. We will not go other places. At least that's what we've been led to believe so far. Now, with that severely being able to have less development time than actually making overworlds, these TV zones really, really need to be good, and they don't feel good. They actually feel quite bad. So that's very scary. It doesn't feel smooth. It does not feel fun. It looks very pretty, but that is generally the theme for Zenless Zone Zero. A lot of flash, not really that much substance. And it's a shame because I already really like these characters. I love the Wubbaboos. I think the ghost girl with huge tits is awesome. I feel like the pink hair girl with huge tits is awesome. And I think Billy's awesome. And once again, the Wubbaboos are just so goddamn cute. It's absolutely unreal. It has so much promise, but it just doesn't really deliver. And it's a shame because I feel like it could be fun, but it's just simply not. In-game day-night cycles that clash with real-time stuff. Each in-game day has 3 segments, morning, evening, midnight. I found this to be confusing. It took me a couple hours to figure out which one the game means, or when they say per day. However, more frustrating is the fact that some quests or even events are at a certain time of day, and some characters have a time before they are gone. After 3 surveys, I'm still 100%.
Okay, I didn't know they had a day-night cycle in this game.
Especially evening. I have no idea what this means, but true, probably. But many complaints. I have liked the game a bit more as I played. Hard to big trailers for showing only the flashy parts of combat, only to hide the main game that is the TVs. At this moment, I think ZZ is quite messy, but I also have a fairly large tank of opium. I think I can speak for everybody who's played this game where we all like it. We do like it, but it just needs a lot of work. Now, once again, I understand some people might want to just dismiss this as, oh, well, it's a beta. You're right, but you got to understand that the Genshin Impact closed beta was legit the exact same as the full release product, and that's from the same company. We can also say the Honkai Star Rail was pretty different, and the reason why that was is because the players were giving a lot of feedback before the game went live. Hoyoverse now has 3 universal hits: Honkai Impact, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. If Zenless Zone Zero releases as is, it will not be the 4th. It will be forgotten about very quickly. It needs feedback, it needs constructive criticism, and it needs the help of its player base. It does, because clearly...
Yeah, I would like to say that Honkai Star Rail, it seems like the developers there are listening to the player base a lot more than they did in the Genshin community. I'm not saying they ignored the Genshin community, but I think they're a lot more receptive to what players had to say in Honkai Star Rail, at least for now.
Clearly, the developers have dropped the ball a little bit. Now, that being said, it has an excellent framework for a great game, but now it needs the fill-in. It needs the substance, because right now it does not have that. I encourage you to leave a comment here, to make a post on social media, to go onto the Hoyoverse forums and tell these people what you want and what they can do to fix their game. Very, very, very important. It is very important. The UI picture, an example, one gave me an aneurysm. True. You don't get stamina on level up. Holy, that's what we were complaining on main story quest regarding stamina. They give you a lot of stamina refills. Levels up give you a lot of stamina. Yeah, that's what gacha games do. Regardless, I'm still at number 1. Why the hell does that UI look like Pinterest? True. I feel like they were really trying to do more things that Persona 5 did, but unfortunately, it was just a big swing and a miss. Regardless, I am still going to play the game. I'm going to give it a fair shot. Once again, when it fully releases. But really
Yeah,
scared.
same here.
Because I really want this game to be good. I do. I do really want this game to be good. And I'm gonna hopefully, maybe I'll have some direct line.
I'm loving the style. I
developers.
really
Probably
want this.
not. We'll see.
I'm going to play the game, and I hope it's a great game.
And that's great. Sign of good things. But the game definitely needs a lot of help, and hopefully we can supply that. But most importantly, I think we can all agree. Make Nicole's tits huge again, please.
All right. Yeah, I say like I agree with most of the stuff he said there. Wasn't too. I'm trying to say like what did I disagree with him on? I guess we weren't on the same page as far as the main male MC character's face. I just it's not good. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's not good, but I didn't think it was terrible. But again, why settle for meh when you get great? But yeah, those are all my opinions about it so far. I just can't wait to see more. I hope they listen to the player base. I hope they improve it. 120 energy it makes no sense. It really makes no sense when you already have 240 in Honkai Star Rail and everybody loves that. Using energy on Quest makes no sense. Why? Why would you do that? It's like, do they just not have a lot of Quest and they're just trying to force the players to slow down on their progression so it makes it feel like it's longer? I hope that's not the case. And as far as like the TVs, he was talking about how that's going to be your world exploration. I really hope they improve on that. Like if you were going to do that, again, I'm flashback into Jet Grind Radio, and like it wasn't an open world game. Like it was like all section levels, but everyone was like very intricate. It was really well designed, and I'm not sure how this game is going to do it. I just hope they do really well. And that's all I got to say about that. So, yeah. See ya.